to 10, 43.5. This is the class. So the midpoint F1 is the midpoint, 43.5 plus 133.5 divided by 2, which is 38.5. So they are saying, you see the group data are saying the sum of Fi, which is the frequency of the midpoint of a group, like I said, the midpoint of a class is representing the group. So if you want to find their mean, what we do is you look at this. If I want to find the mean, there was information given here. It says you are given level 2. There are any students, then they find the minimum and the maximum were like that. So we did the tally table of the group data, which is 34 to 44 to find 6, 45 to 55 to 1, 56 to 66 to 2, and so forth. Then you have cumulative frequency, it should be 20, should be not more or less. Now, when we are dealing with histograms of group data, we use what we call Stagger's rule. Stagger's rule. That's level 2, they already know that. I told them. Maybe last year we didn't have time. Stagger's rule. What does it say? If you want to find the class width, you want to see how much you can divide your information. You can actually think of your own class width 20, 30. But if you so to do so, do a class of 20, your histogram will be very big. If your class is small, you have got so many bars of histogram. So for you to get the class width, what do? You can say the L to the length class width is the X maximum minus minimum divided by 1 plus 1.44 natural logarithm of n. N is 20. So if you find that you is 10.5. So it means class width standards is telling me to take my class with class width 10. You can even choose 11 or 12, it doesn't matter. That's your own prerogative. But this guy is telling us you can use this one. So you see now, how do they put them in class 3.4? They add 10 into the class width to 3.4. But now you can say 44 here again. 45, 55, 56, because we're going to consider the points in between. Okay, so if you control this one. Now, how did they find the histograms? Because our minimum is 34. A group data, if a student is 3.5, 3.5 years age, this is approximately what? 34, which is our minimum. So when you are drawing histogram, do it now in the next day when you survive. Obviously, you are surviving. Survival is done at level 2. Here you proceed. What you do is, once you find that, you look at the minimum. You see minimum, you have 0.5 to accommodate for the data, which is 3.5, 3.9, because they are almost 34. So you have to cater for that 0.5, which means instead of 34, I start 3.5, which is 3.5 here. 7. So from 0, you are saying, okay, my data is not anywhere, but it's starting from what? 3.5. But 3.5 is standing for 34, because it's a grouped data. Maybe a child is 6 years, 9 months. One student was 7 years. That's good. That child cannot be left out because it's already 97 days, 9 months. When you want to take it next day, it will be 8. So we consider that child. Even 6.5, 6.5 years, they can continue because they are the same. That's the data group data. So when you are going to draw the histogram, look here. You are going to say 3.5, 33.5. Now I found the width. The width of the midpoint will be the same width as the class. So if the midpoint of this one is 38.5, which is this one, which is F1. This is the midpoint, I put it there. Midpoint 38.5. It means the next midpoint is the next bound plus 10, 43, 48.5. To the next one, if I add the width doesn't change. They won't. So the width doesn't change. It's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and we put that one. So this is what we call histogram in red. After I done histogram, you join the midpoint, that's a frequency polygon. With that. So we miss that. Whether we miss or what, but that's the idea. So that would be a frequency polygon. Now, why have I said the mean of group data is sum of Fy times I? What do I mean? I'm going to say, if I want to get the average of this, let's say find the average of this, I'm going to say the sum of Fi, which means